everyone, my name is Griffin, and this is Stitching with the Griffin number 83. Pretty sure. I forgot to make sure. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's 83. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Got a few things to talk about. Right off the bat, my little cat project with all the multiple cats has gone into timeout. I was having a really bad day and I messed up really bad on the stitch, and yeah, it got on my last nerve. That was the straw that broke camel's back that day, and so now it's put away. I will be getting new floss, simply because I finally decided I hated the floss that I was using. It was the kit is a knockoff. The fabric is okay, but the thread was just, I'd had enough with it. I'd had more than enough with it, so I junked it. So I will be starting over on a new piece of fabric with proper DMC floss, and I don't know when, but I did not get rid of the chart or the fabric. I can always use the fabric for something else, but yeah, so I won't show you anything because it is just no. So for those of you who are new here, I am a cross stitcher. I'm a fiber artist. I do a lot of different things with fiber. This playlist here is predominantly about my cross stitching. That being said, on the end of the video I tend to add a little bit of non-fiber content. I have a couple of diamond art pieces to show. I have a junk journal to show, and I have some books. No books. Do have some shout outs. So, yeah. So the other thing that I had that I was stitching on, I'm still stitching on my secret stitch when I can. Things are progressing with that, so I still have to frog the back, but I'm working on the front because it's got the most stuff. And once it's done, I'll go back and frog the back, which makes me sad, but hey, it happens. So, I forgot to get this picture. Pardon me, I am not as organized as I should be. So, for those of you, again, who are new here, I have 2 full coverage pieces. That means that the whole thing is stitched. There's no background showing through. Well, some of it showed through, but predominantly it's one big picture, and every single thing is stitched. I rotate between 2 focus pieces. They're big pieces, and I restarted one this year, and I have another one that I carried over from last year that I'm still chipping away on. And then I have a decision wheel that I will choose a secondary piece to work on when I need to take a break from the big piece, from the focus piece. I also have a secret stitch that I am making for one of my viewers, so I can't say anything more about that because then they'll know. But yes, so this next piece, I actually got some work done. Did not finish the page. I'm very disappointed, but time, there's only so much time in a day, so many days in a week. So it is Charting Creations, The Magic of Books. The artist is in Northup, I believe, and I am over here. I have one page and then not even a quarter of a page over here, like a little sliver. So I'm over here in between these two moths. That's on one of my pages. They're on one side, this is on the other, like half of it, maybe. Anyway, so this bit in here, there ended up being a lot more, sorry, let me turn my fan. I had fan voice, did you hear me? God, that brings back memories. Playing with the fan because you were bored. What was I saying? Oh, it ended up having a lot more confetti in the background than there had been before in this part, so I didn't get as much done as I had wanted to. And if you give me just a second. I don't keep count of my stitches. I say this repeatedly, but I do not. I just stitch. And so I have no idea. But this is what it looks like. I'll put it up here. It's in a big roll. Not a big roll, but a roll. And I did all of this in here this past week. I filled in more down here. So you can see it's coming out. It's changing. There's the bookshelf there. Then I guess this is the second bookshelf in here. There's a lot of colors. You cannot see it from my can't really see it in the monitor. It's not bringing up the different colors, but there's like green and teal and a little bit of brown and some blues. So yeah, this area is starting that light blue that's over here, so that's all going to be 2 shades of blue here. I do have more darker colors in here, and then one moth is here, and then of course you can see here that moth there. That whole side still needs to be finished. The other side's finished, but this side needs to be finished. And then this side is more of the bookshelf. Yes. Because the way it shows on here, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's bookshelves up here, like on a shelf maybe. There's a section there, and then there's bookshelves here. So there's something in here that I'm not quite sure what it is. Oh, it's just, okay, it's one giant bookshelf. It's just the light from in here is interfering with this. It's covered it up, and then a little bit over here. But that's one giant bookshelf back here. So the next page is going to be this section here. We haven't touched the book yet. It's going to be this section here, mostly ending this bookshelf here, and then there's about 5 rows wide here, and then it goes all the way down the page, and that will end that. So it's mostly going to be a solid color, I bet you, right here, or close to it. So that's not going to take long. I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that I will be able to do 2 pages this year. Last year I did, pardon me, something in my eye besides my eyeball. Last year I was able to get 4 pages finished. 3 pages finished, and then I started on page 4 this year. It was my New Year's Eve new start, or whatever, and I'm still struggling to get that page finished. I will get it done. I will get it done. Now in this next week, I'm switching over to my next big piece, which is the Map of Middle Earth by Ankicoleman Designs. Yes, this is another rendition of the one that was originally brought out by Tintin Crafts, but it is what it is. I am up in here still, trying to get to the shoreline. Haven't quite got there yet. This one's a lot slower going because there is a lot of confetti. A lot of confetti. Yes, I bent it. These are on big rolls. Oh, I'm sorry. The Magica Books is being done 2/1 full cross with called for DMC colors on 16 count Natural Aida, I want to say. I think it's 16 count. Sorry. I predominantly stitch on 16 and 18 count. I do have one that's on 22 count. I tried 25 count easy grid and the grid kept messing up my count. So I didn't like that. But anyway, so that's what the Magica Books is, and I keep forgetting to say it. It is in my description box below in case you're wondering. Give me a minute. Okay, I think I'm okay. Alright, I need to flip this the other way. Pull it out a little bit. Yes. Okay, so I have reached the shoreline. Hey! Sort of. Let me see if I've got something to put under here. This one is being done 2/1 full cross with the called for color DMC floss colors. And if I can get this big boy turned around, that's it. Oop. Maybe get it to go up. There we go. Not the best way to do things. Let me see if I can get this to roll under. Trying to get it so where it would hold so I can use my other hand. I think that'll work. It's a very large piece because I don't know how exactly large this is going to be eventually. This I want to say is 18 count Natural Aida, but I'm not sure. I think so. It's in the description box. So this is page 1. There's the shoreline. There are so many colors in this. I mean, I didn't get my box out, but there is over 100 colors, and a lot of them are in here. A lot of them are going to be in there too. But this is where I'm at so far. So this week, my goal is to finish this and then move down to the next row. I'm doing 10 by whatever squares. I start out and I'm doing one color and then going all the way across. One color going all the way across. I find with this section here, because there's so much confetti, that if I do 10 by 10 squares, my brain goes, no, that's too much, and then we stop. So if I do one color and very carefully count and go across, then my brain goes, oh, okay, another color, let's do another color. And it works that way better. So there's still a lot of confetti in these, but this is what it looks like. This is where I'm starting from. So hopefully at the end of, hopefully next week, all of this will be done. And we're starting to fall. So there we go. So all of that will be done, and then this next section will be done. It's just the shoreline, folks. Nothing to get excited about. And because I know there are those of you who are watching this, and you watched it last year while I struggled with the 25 count easy grid, and I thank you for coming back and watching me do this again. We're doing better. You can see a lot more detail, but I am excited about seeing more detail as we go down. But right now we're still over here, still on the shoreline right there on that top part. So that's that. There is no artist listed for this particular piece, so I have no artist to name or give credit to. Tilton Crafts, I'm guessing, had the original artist. Now this one, I don't know. I don't know how Ankicoleman does their stuff, but there is no artist that's credited with doing this, so with charting it. The artist was Tolkien, but I don't know who charted it, so we're not going there. So, what did I do with it? Okay. Yes, okay. 16 count. Nope, 18 count. 2/1 full cross. Too many stitches to count, even if I wanted to. So, bringing up the wheel, and I need to adjust my brightness so you can see it. Okay, here's the decision wheel, and I took cats off of it because I'm not going to do it for a while, but there's the decision wheel. And really? Sorry, I forgot to turn the sound off. Poison! OMG. OMG. Okay. I sound like an 80s child. OMG. But I am an 80s child. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Where are you, my darling? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Ah! Still on the hoop. Please don't shoot me. Still on the hoop. Ah! Okay. Oops. I almost put it on something I shouldn't have. Let me pull this up. This is the Witchy Stitchers. The difference between poison and medicine, or medicine and poison. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. I started this last year. Hold on. Started this last year. Was it last year? Or was it this year? I forget. I think it was last year. I don't know. Anyway, I started it. For those of you who've been here with me for a while, you'll have remembered when I started this. I saw this on Instagram and I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. Had to go out and get the digital piece of this. Now this is from the Witchy Stitcher. It's Meg. She has a book out that's got some fantastic pieces on it, but this is how I discovered Joshua from Cross Stitch in Cambria, because he did the model. I think that's a good enough picture. Hope you can see that. Yeah, there we go. So there it is. The difference between medicine and poison is in the dose. And I got halfway done with this. I think I did this last year as my Halloween stitch, but don't quote me. So, let me remove it from its hoop. And then I will put it back in its hoop. I am doing this on 14 count Aida. Now, normally I stitch in hand. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. I don't just put it in a hoop and then take it back out and show it to you outside of a hoop. Traditionally, I guess, or, you know, on a regular basis, I stitch in hand. I have been doing it most of my life. And I started cross stitching when I was like 9 or 10. So, very young. And, ooh, this thing is going to need to be, going to need to be ironed. That's why you don't leave it in a hoop, stupid. But anyway, let's see if I can get this. I don't have anything black to put behind this. I think you can see it okay this way. But anyway, so I stitch in hand. I use a hoop for embroidery when I do embroidery pieces, because I want to be able to have good tension when you're doing embroidery. And I have discovered that with 14 count, this is also the case, especially when you're using multiple threads, more than 2 threads. With this one, give me 1 second, I am using, and see, I end up with these little flyaways. Normally when I stitch in hand, I don't have that. So, yeah, I blame that on the hoop. But anyway, I am using 4 strands folded over so that I don't have any black showing, or try not to have any black, very little black showing where it doesn't need to be showing. So this is where I am right now. This is about halfway. This one's actually a little bit more than halfway. But I need to bring the picture back up because I waffled. So yeah, I'm on this skeleton here, and it's split up into 4 parts. That's the way the chart is, split up into 4. So I will work on Mr. Skeleton here, because that's the rest of the chart is going to be on him. So I'll work on the skeleton and then do what I can to move over. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done, and it's absolutely beautiful. You can find the Witchy Stitcher on YouTube, I think, but predominantly she's over on Instagram. Like I said, she does have a book out that I can't remember the name of. And I got the digital version of that, but it's on my Kindle, which is on my big computer, so I forgot what the name of it is. But this is what I'll be doing. So I'll be working on him. I'll be pulling him down, and then I guess I will do the bottom border after, because he's basically the border. There's a little bit more to him, but basically he's the border. So I will pull him down, do whatever I need to do here, and then shoot across and do the bottom border to the middle, and then start filling in the rest of it. This has been a challenge. Pardon me. This piece is a challenge because of the amount of threads that I'm using, and the fact that, sorry, my brain said get rid of them, so I'm getting rid of them. I have issues with Chinese, I'm sorry. But the number of threads that I'm using, for one, because I can't use the loop method. Well, I guess I could, but actually I think I might be using the loop method. I don't remember. It's been a little bit since I've done this. This is the first time it's been pulled up on the wheel in a while. But the other issue I have is that this is not full coverage. So a lot of these things you have got to count to get from point A to point B, and then all the spacing. So you really have to count. I had an issue right here with medicine where it wasn't lining up, and oh my, I wasn't very happy. But that is the next, that is the side piece. So I'll be working on that, and my project bag, I'm just going to put it back in the project bag, and then I'll put it back on the hoop when I get ready to work on it again. So that's my cross stitching. That's everything. 14 count Aida, 4, 8, however many, 4 doubled over, 8 over 1 full cross. The artist is Meg, is the Witchy Stitcher, Meg. 14 count black Aida. DMC floss. So, and I already have the next one of hers picked out to do, but I am not sure how I'm going to be able to show you guys the picture that I'm going to be doing. I guess I could do a screenshot, or I could take a picture of it while it's on my big computer and show it to you, but that's for that, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Alright, so I do have some shout outs. I was able to watch some videos. Now these videos are not new. They were on my playlist at the time that I saw them, and I'm just now getting around to seeing them. Some of them are not up to date. In fact, most of them are not up to date. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't go check these people out. They're new to me. A couple of them are new to me anyway, and most of them are new to me. But they may not be new to you, and they may not be, I know they're not new. I think only one person was new to Flosstube. But go give them a peek. Anyway, so the first one is Spinning Yarns Designs, and she caught my attention because she was working on sleeping kittens in flowers. So cute. So cute. 2 little babies facing each other with flowers, sleeping in the flowers. They're cute. There's Megan the Wild Eye Stitcher. She was doing a kit parade. The Green Wrapper. She was doing a video on Sashiko for beginners, and I am looking at possibly trying that whenever I get a chance. Sashiko is is a very beautiful embroidery technique. I believe it's Japanese, and I have been eyeing it for a little while, but with everything else that I have going on, I am not sure if I'm ever going to have a chance to actually try it. But where there's a will, there's a way. There's Primary Stitches. It was her very first video, and she was doing a whip parade. I do not know how recent, and I'm sorry, but I forgot most of these folks' names. Megan, of course, is Megan. Stitching with Mel, that helps. Her name is Mel. She was doing, this is how old this is. She was doing Mania, but the video was last month. So, but it was still really cool to watch. I enjoyed it a lot. And then Jennifer Spence. Her video, or her account, is called Little Paper Bear Company, but on the video it says Jennifer Spence. She was doing a whip parade. She had some really nice things to look at as well, so I would recommend her, going to see her. But that's all I have as far as stitching goes. Goodness, I've gone quite a bit. Okay, this is probably going to be a little bit longer than normal because I want to show you some other things. But if all you were interested in was the cross stitching, that's it. And I will see you next week. If you're interested in the other things that I have to show you, I will be, try to be quick about it. For those of you who've been following me since last year at least, you may remember I showed you a journal that I've actually had two, but this was the first one that I had commissioned by Nate from Peach Domino Paper Crafts. And I had commissioned this one to be just the journal, nothing on the inside of it. Now he was sweet enough to go ahead and throw some stuff in there for me to kind of get me started on decorating the inside. Now if you've never done a junk journal before, basically you put things on the inside. This is not scrapbooking. This is something that you do that does not necessarily have to match. Now I do see a lot of places where they have matching stuff, and that's great. I'm very eclectic. I have a lot of eclectic likes and everything, so it is reflected in my journal. And this journal is not finished yet. I have not finished filling it yet, decorating it yet. But once I do have it done, there is plenty of places for me to write little notes in. There's plenty of places for me to stick things in, tickets and cards and whatnots are going to go in here. I've already added a couple of cards from this year, but I basically won't be doing much until probably next year when I'm able to actually travel, because this year it's just not in the cards. So let me turn it around. This was my own addition, this tassel. I popped the hole in the top. Now Nate can make journals with the hole in the top, or the hole in the upper part, so that you can hang stuff from, like tassels or beads or bookmarks, your ribbon bookmarks or whatever you'd like. This is basic. It's supposed to be a bookmark. I'm just using it as decoration, and I might even trim up the bottom a little bit since it's so long, but for now. And then on the front, this was stitched right here, was stitched for me by a former co-worker, Misty, and I put it on here because I wanted it on there, so I did that. Added some stickers, some other stuff. I am not going to show you the whole thing because a flip through is just, we don't have time for that, and you may not be interested. If you're interested in me doing a flip through on this, then I will do one in the future. But I did want to show you something that Nate did for me. Okay. If I can bring it around. I did that. Nate did this. Now it looks like a mess, but it's not a mess. There's a pocket here. There's a pocket over here, and I've got stuff already. He did put some things in there. There is a pocket up here, little corner piece, and he put things in here, like a little tag. Now this could have been turned into like a little pocket, but I'm just leaving it tucked into the pocket that's already here. Let's see what else. Nope, that's mine. It's a little card here. So, just different things that he put in there. He did that. I think. I know he did this. I might have done that. But he did this, which I thought was really, really sweet. I hope you can see that. It says every day is the best day of the year. Is the best of the year. And I thought that was fantastic. Nate does journals. He makes them, and you can order them plain. You can order them filled with things, or you can ask him to make all the things but not put them in the book until you're ready to use them. that's what I did with this purple one right here that I'm not going to show you. Or if you're interested, I will show you that one later. But there's a bag of things that go with it. Now, when I originally ordered this one, it was a pair. I'd ordered 2 of them. Purple Gothic style. One that was empty but had all the little bits to go in it so that the recipient would be able to decorate it the way they wanted to. And then he is working on a second one that I have not paid for yet. And the reason why I did not do that yet is because not long after I received this one, I had ordered them for a couple that I know, and one of the couple passed away. She had been ill, apparently, but I won't go into any of the other details of respect for the family. But so this one is still sitting there. It has not been touched. It has not been decorated. It has not. All I did was put the piece on the end, the bookmark thing on the end, and I believe Nate put a hole in it for me. Yes, he put a hole in that one for me, and put the little eyelet in there for me. I did the one on the one he made. Anyway, I have not paid for the other one yet. Now, if you go over to Nate's channel, which I highly recommend, last month for sure he was doing pieces that were going to go in to the journal that matches that one. That one I asked him to, if he wanted to, that he could go ahead and put stuff into it. The reasoning being that I wanted them to see how things could be arranged in the book, and then they could do this one as well themselves. And they could either, he could have that one or she could have that one or whatever, you know. So anyway, he's filling the other one. So if you're interested in seeing that and seeing how journals can be, if you're new to junk journals, or if you just want to see what he's doing with it, it is Purple Gothic, and he's done some beautiful things. He's taught me some things. A lot of what I am filling in over here is stuff that I am making with my own paper products and things like that, and I'm watching him predominantly to learn things. There are other people that I'm also watching, but seeing him do it and the way that he shows, I enjoy watching him. He's anyway, enough waffling. That is the junk journal that I am working on. Now I have 2 diamond arts that I want to show you. The first one is the gnomes that I bought last year and started working on them this year, and I haven't really worked on them a whole lot. It's a trio of Christmas gnomes. It is big. I brought it in from the other room. Can you see where I've worked on it? Can you tell? This poor little corner right here. Yep, you can tell. So this corner here, I am doing them in 10 by 10 sections, and because it's quick that way, and I'm taking the plastic off a little bit at a time, simply because that table is a shared space right now, and I don't want to accidentally put anything on it that will get stuck to it. This was a maker's market piece from Michael's. Now this one was given to me, I'm pretty sure. This is the Cheshire Cat, and the last time you saw this one I was down, messing around down in here. Tails all completely done, except for the very tip, which you may or not be able to. Got all that done. Started on the outside of the watch. Got the rest of the tail and his bum. Well, actually, that's his leg. So you got a leg, arm, and a little bit of a leg over there. So, or a foot. So I got the little foot done. Got most of this piece done. Actually, I have it all done. Okay, let me look at it. Okay, it's done up to here. And then I have, you know, to do this bit, and then to go up to his upper torso and finish the clock parts too. But this one I just work on whenever. I'm not going to work on it this week because I've got too much else to do. But yeah, I don't remember what brand that one is. It says DIY 5D Fashion Diamond Painting. I do not know what brand this is. Yeah, I don't know what I did with the box. It's around here somewhere, but that's it. That is everything. I've actually went to 41 minutes. OMG. I am sorry if you had things to do today and thought you were only going to be here with me for 30 minutes, which is what my normal time is. But that's it. So, thank you so much for being here, especially if you made it all this way. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, hit the buttons, do all that if you want to. But, hey, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you on the flip side.